If you opened the heavy wooden door of a medieval tavern just after sunset, you would not see the beautiful romantic scene that movies often show. There were no clean tables, no well-dressed waiters, and no pretty plates of food. Instead, a strong wave of hot air, smoke, sweat, and sour ale would hit your face. The smell was very strong: boiling cabbage, wet wool, burning fat, and people who had not washed for many weeks. The only light came from cheap candles and a big fire in the middle of the room. The light danced on the walls, making golden and dark shadows everywhere. In one corner, a dog was chewing a bone. People laughed loudly. Others argued. You could hear constant sounds of eating, drinking, and wooden cups hitting the tables. This was not a fun restaurant like we have today. It was a place where people came to eat and rest after a hard day. The food was simple, heavy, and made for survival. Taverns did not have menus. There were no choices. You ate what the owner had cooked that day, or you stayed hungry. The meal depended on what was available in the market, what animals were killed, and what food was left from before. Most of the food was cooked in one large iron pot that hung over the fire all day long. Into this pot went vegetables, grains, pieces of meat, bones, herbs, and old soup. This thick mixture was called pottage, or stew. It was the most important food in the tavern. Everyone, farmers, travelers, and soldiers, put their bowl into the same big pot. The stew was never the same. In the morning, it was thin and light. As the day went on, it became thicker when the cook added more vegetables like turnips, cabbage, leeks, and beans. If the owner was lucky, there might be some pork fat or salted beef. Bones floated in the soup and gave it more flavor. By evening, the stew was dark, thick, and smelled strong, but it filled the stomach well. Nothing was wasted. Old bread, soft vegetables, and yesterday's leftovers all went into the pot. Some taverns kept the same base soup boiling for many days or even weeks. For most people, this was the only hot meal of the day. Medieval life was very difficult. Farmers worked from morning till night, blacksmiths hammered hot iron, and travelers walked long distances. They needed heavy, filling food, not light or fancy meals. Taste was not important. Survival was important. Bread was just as important as the stew. But it was not soft white bread. It was dark, hard, and made from rye or barley. Sometimes it was so hard it could break your tooth. People used thick slices of bread as plates. They called these slices trenchers. After eating, they could eat the bread or give it to the poor or the dog. Meat was not as common as people think. Most people did not eat fresh meat every day. Animals were valuable for milk, eggs, and work. So meat was usually salted, smoked, or dried. Only rich guests could eat fresh roasted meat. On special days, when hunters brought deer or rabbits, or a pig was killed, the tavern smelled wonderful.